Why I Wake Early. Hello, sun in my face. Hello, you who make the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories and into the windows of even the miserable and the crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star, that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. Just lying on the grass at Blackwater. I think sometimes of the possible glamour of death, that it might be wonderful to be lost and happy inside the green grass, or to be the green grass, or maybe the pink rose, or the blue iris, or the affable daisy, or the twirled vine looping its way skyward, that it might be perfectly peaceful to be the shining lake, or the hurrying athletic river, or the dark shoulders of the trees, where the thrush each evening weeps himself into an ecstasy. I lie down in the fields of goldenrod and everlasting. Who could find me? My thoughts simplify. I have not done 1,000 things, or 100 things, but perhaps a few. As for wondering about answers that are not available except in books, though in my childhood I was sent there to find them, I have learned to leave all that behind, as in summer I take off my shoes and my socks, my jacket, my hat, and go on happier through the fields. The little sparrow with the pink beak calls out over and over, so simply, not to me, but to the whole world. All afternoon I grow wiser listening to him, soft, small, nameless fellow at the top of some weed, enjoying his life. If you can sing, do it. If not, even silence can feel to the world like happiness, like praise, from the pool of shade you have found beside the everlasting. 5 a.m. in the pine woods. I'd seen their hoofprints in the deep needles and knew they ended the long night under the pines, walking like two mute and beautiful women toward the deeper woods. So I got up in the dark and went there. They came slowly down the hill and looked at me sitting under the blue trees. Shyly they stepped closer and stared from under their thick lashes and even nibbled some damp tassels of weeds. This is not a poem about a dream, though it could be. This is a poem about the world that is ours, or could be. Finally, one of them, I swear it, would have come to my arms, but the other stamped sharp hoof in the needles like the tap of sanity, and they went off together through the trees. When I woke, I was alone. I was thinking, so this is how you swim inward. So this is how you flow outward. So this is how you pray.
Thank you. Now, please join us reciting our covenant. Recognizing the richness of diversity, the beauty and wonder of shared worship, and the transforming power of love and service, we gather as a sacred, intentional community to freely seek knowledge and truth, to celebrate the fullness of life, and to our actions to increase goodness and justice. And now I invite the children to come forward, and those young at heart, and Chris Monk has a moment of poetry.
Now we come to the time in our service for contemplation and meditation. If we could dim the lights, thank you. I have a poem to share with you eventually, but first, I'd like you to go on a little trip with me to the place where I wrote this poem. It doesn't have to be identical to where I stood, but the feeling should be similar. So if you will close your eyes and settle into a comfortable position, release the tension from your body and feel your breath move in and out, filling almost your whole field of vision. You see stars, a beautiful, clear night sky. You see a full moon. You feel the air move in and out of your lungs. Is it cool and crisp? Is it warm and humid of a summer evening, this is your sacred space. And the moon shines, and some of the stars twinkle, and some of the stars shine. Stay in this place with me. And words come. They flutter in and out of your mind, and they start to build, and they build a poem. I feel myself gravitate toward her, the moon in all her glory. I am pulled to her, to the piece of pure black, laced with a silver light, to the song that she sings in my dreams in her night. She has many names, but to me she is my lady, partially, wholly, simply, yet so complex that it is emotion. What it is, what she is, cannot be spoken. It cannot be written. But expressed in 1,000 ways, in the ecstasy of passion, in the rush of fury or anger, in the tears of sorrow, in a smile, in a laugh. She is the creator of emotion. She is the creator, and she is the emotion. Now is the time in our service for candlelighting. You can stay underneath that moonlit sky if you wish, but if you have a joy or a sorrow to share with us, I invite you to light a candle. We also have our blue book in the back where you could share that joy or sorrow with the rest of our community. Thank you.
While I was meditating, I was looking at the monitor, and I noticed a time for meditation, and I was thinking about time, which physics gives us a whole new concept of these days, but our traditional look at time gives us many metaphors, such as spending time as though it were money, or wasting time, kind of like making it trash, I guess, or perhaps using time for the benefit of all of us, or for ill. But one of the expressions when I was in the convent that I remember hearing was killing time, and that was kind of like, in that context, meant not doing something productive, which was not a positive thing particularly. And so at that time, now this was in the 1960s, I wrote the following: time killed in ways of friendship has died a martyr's death, making holy. Now, I have a very serious subject to read a poem about, and it's written by that somber guy, Ogden Nash. So, when the devil was sick, could he prove it? Is there any know this? Few things are duller than feeling unspecifically off color. Yes, you feel like the fulfillment of a dismal prophecy, and you don't feel either exercisey or officey. But still, you can't produce a red throat, or a white tongue, or uneasy respiration, or any kind of symptom. And it is very embarrassing that whoever was supposed to be passing out the symptom skimped them. Because whatever is the matter with you, you can't spot it. But whatever it is, you got it. But the question is how to prove it. And you suck for hours on the thermometer you finally sent out for, and you can't move it. And your entire system may be pneumococci or streptococci. And the looks you get from your loved ones are simply skeptococci. So you unfinger your pulse before conscience can jeer at you for a compulsive fingerer. And you begin to believe that perhaps your loved ones are right. Perhaps you are nothing but a hypochondriacal old malingerer. And you take a farewell look at the thermometer, and it's as good as a tonic, because you've got as pretty a 99.1 as you'd wish to see in a month of bubonic. Some people hold out for 100 or more before they collapse, but that leaves too many gaps. As for me, I can get a very smug Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday in bed out of 1/10 of a degree. It is this trait that I am debtor for the happy fact that on weekends I generally feel better.
All right. So I'm going to share a song with you that I learned not from the author of the song or the composer of the song, but from another singer. The song is called Shine On, and it's by May Earlwine, or Early Wine. And she was at our church not too long ago. And I had learned when she came to the church that she'd been through separation from her partner, and I thought, oh golly, that's going to change her music. Did not change her music. And this song kind of talks about, am I not on? This song kind of talks about how even through the most difficult of times, we need to shine on. So,
Did you plan that? Yes.
I am not really sure if you're going to hear me, but I'm going to do my best.
We hear you.
All right, good. Knock me off of my feet, but I think it's time for me to start walking again. Stop running away. Next time you see me, I will be singing a new song, 'cause I am learning to shine on, shine on, shine on. There'll be time enough for darkness when everything is gone. Shine on, shine on. There is work to be done in the dark before dawn. I know it's hard not to give in, but it ain't easy living in hard times. I know it's weighing on my mind. Next time you see me, I'll be uplifting. Yes, I will give you hope, 'cause I am learning as I go to shine on. Sing it if you know it. Shine on, shine on. There'll be time enough for darkness when everything is gone. Shine on, shine on. There'll be work to be done in the dark before dawn. I know how dark it seems. I feel it coming up inside of me, and I feel it in you too, in everything you do. Next time you see me, we'll both be laughing. Oh, just to be alive, 'cause we are learning to shine on, shine on, shine on. There'll be time enough for darkness when everything is gone. Shine on, shine on. There is work to be done got to shine on.
Well, the piece I have is from a book entitled Poetry and the Survival of Community in America. It's spreading the word. And it's actually was an oral piece that an elderly black woman shared with a huge workshop of 5th and 6th grade kids at the library about her attempts to get an education. And now she was a grandmother at the time and was working all day, so kind of gives you a little context for this. It's called My Certificate in Negro History. You should have been there to see such a raggedy, hungry bunch, 1,400 of us waiting in the rain and mud for a bag of yellow meal, lard, and eggs. Lines so long we'd have to camp out or go back 2 or 3 days. It was the freedom fighter, Pat, a sweet girl from Chicago, who asked me to write that letter to President Johnson when we was hungry and tired down in Cleveland, Mississippi in '66. We'd meet at the closed-down Methodist school for a 3-day meeting, and Pat would give us some Negro history schooling, something which should have been ours all along, and in the evening, too, in our little town, after picking cotton all day, I'd take my grandchildren, Curtis E. and Linda Pearl, and we'd meet under the good light of the moon and the deeper light of our eyes. There in the churchyard where Pat would show us photos and read to us about Negro sisters and brothers like Harriet Tubman, who done carried babies on her own back and drove stubborn women through the hills at night and into freedom tunnels of the Underground Railroad. My letter appeared in the evening news, and with it 100 signatures from those who struggled to write out the proud letters of their names. Times were getting tense, oh Lord. You could feel it in the voice of the postmaster's wife when I went down to mail a letter, and she'd asked if I knew where that girl from Chicago, the freedom fighter, was staying. The shopkeeper would ask too, and so did the owner of the dry goods store. It seemed the more we knew, the quieter we were forced to become. So we hid Pat from night to night in a different place, staying a while with the minister's wife, but even that wasn't safe. Just down the road in Mississippi, we were told of the brush hopper deaths. 1 little colored boy and 2 freedom fighters found dead and decomposed under a brush hopper in the sprawling, well-cared yard of a lady aristocrat who swore they were the remains of an old horse. And in Johanna, there was going to be a march, and my son, Sammy Lewis, said, "Mama, don't go." And by the look in his eye, I thought, I'm old enough to mind my children. And sure enough, that's where Meredith was shot. And one day, someone said, "Sarah, the president sent us a plane full of food. He got your letter." So we made our way to the old schoolhouse, and we watched the county prisoners carry it in their gray and white stripes, big as my 3 fingers. Someone said the canned meat was ground up cow hearts, but we didn't care. We were hungry. We waited in line for the coffee and yellow meal and grits. Some judge stood on the steps for a while and stared us down. Then he sent a young white man down among us to take photographs of us. And someone else said, "Where's Pat? The Yankee freedom fighter was at." It was just the night before, in fact, that Pat handed me my certificate in Negro history, saying what a fine student I had been. "I don't want to go," she said, "but my time is up." And then she gave me a hug. Holding that certificate in my hand, I knew that a person is a person, and out of one blood, God created all nations. On our way home, my grandchildren and me struggled with our food cartons. The postmaster's wife stopped us and she asked, "Sarah, by the way, you know where that white girl is?" I told my grandchildren then, like I'm telling y'all now, one of these days you'll run into something that you'll be quiet about. And there'll be another day when all that silence will make you sing.
This is a song that I chose to sing because it's a song that was on the backside of a 45 that I bought of Doris Day years and years and years ago. And the funny thing is, I don't remember what the original was that I bought it for, but I remember this song. So, hey there, if you are a vexed one, a dreary, weary, and perplexed one, I've got troubles and you've got troubles and you're no better than the next one. You will find your share of bliss if you'll just remember this. You can't have everything. Be satisfied with the little you may get. You can't have everything. Why envy neighbors and the fortunes that they get? Live and laugh and listen. Don't be greedy. Help the needy. You gotta get lucky, yes indeedy. Poor man, rich man, beggar or king, you just can't have everything. So thank those stars above for that song in your heart, a penny in your pocket, and someone in your arms to love.
Pray for Peace by Ellen Bass. Pray to whomever you kneel down to, Jesus nailed to his wooden or plastic cross, his suffering face bent to kiss you. Buddha, still, under the bow tree in scorching heat. Adonai, Allah, raise your arms to Mary, that she may lay her palms on your brows. To Shahina, Queen of heaven and earth, to Inanna in her stripped descent.
Then pray to the bus driver who takes you to work. On the bus, pray for everyone riding the bus. For everyone riding buses over the world, drop some silver and pray.
Waiting in line for the movies, for the ATM, for your latte and croissant. Offer your plea. Make your eating and drinking a supplication. Make your slicing of carrots a holy act. Each translucent layer of onion a deeper prayer.
To the hawk or wolf or the great whale, pray. Bow down to the terriers and the shepherds and the Siamese cats. Fields of artichokes and elegant strawberries.
Make the brushing of your hair a prayer, every strand its own voice singing in the choir on your head. As you wash your face, the water slipping through your fingers, a prayer. Water, softest thing on earth, gentleness that wears away rock.
Making love, of course, is already praying. Skin, open mouths, worship that skin, the fragile cases we are poured into.
If you're hungry, pray. If you're tired, pray to Gandhi and Dorothy Day, Shakespeare, Sappho, Sojourner Truth.
When you walk to your car, to the mailbox, to the video store, let each step be a prayer that we keep our legs, that we do not blow off anyone else's legs or crush their skulls. And if you're riding on a bicycle or a skateboard, in a wheelchair, each revolution of the wheels a prayer as the earth revolves. Less harm, less harm, less harm.
And as you work, typing with a new manicure, a tiny palm tree painted on one pearlescent nail, or delivering soda, or drawing good blood into rubber-capped vials, writing on a blackboard with yellow chalk, twirling pizzas.
With each breath in, take in the faith of those who have believed when belief seemed foolish, who persevered. With each breath out, cherish.
Pull weeds for peace. Turn over in your sleep for peace. Feed the birds each shiny seed that spills onto the earth another second of peace. Wash your dishes. Call your mother. Drink wine.
Shovel leaves or snow or trash from your sidewalk. Make a path. Fold a photo of a dead child around your Visa card. Scoop your holy water from the gutter. Gnaw your crust. Mumble like a crazy person, stumbling your prayer through the streets. Now, most of the time, artists will put out a hat or a box as they're playing in the streets, and this has gone on from olden times. But our artists today have been willing to share their gifts with us. And now I'm asking that you share with us too. Please make an offering that will sustain this church and all those that are in it. And will the ushers please pass the baskets?
Ready, Jack? Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. When my life is over and I leave this place, I'm gonna leave this big old world and the trouble and the pain. If I get to heaven, you know I will not stay. I'll turn myself around again, fall down as a rain. Fall down as a rain, fall down as a rain. I will turn myself around again, fall down as a rain. When I finally reach the ground, I'll soak into the sod. I will turn myself around again, come up as a golden rod. Come up as a golden rod, come up as golden rod. I will turn myself around again, come up as a golden rod. When I turn all dry and brown, I'll lay me down to rest. I will turn myself around again as part of an eagle's nest. As part of an eagle's nest, as part of an eagle's nest, I will turn myself around again as part of an eagle's nest. When that eagle learns to fly, I'll flutter out of that tree. I will turn myself around again as part of the mystery. as part of the mystery, as part of the mystery. I will turn myself around again as part of the mystery. When I've at the end of my life and I have gone away, I'm gonna leave this big old world and the trouble and the pain. If I get to heaven, you know I will not stay. I'll turn myself around again and fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. I will turn myself around again. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. Fall down as the rain. I will turn myself around again. Fall down.